Who out here loves Joe Biden?
Which is now the Biden-Hatch bill, was the Biden bill.
I want 100 people, because I got about 100 on my last video. I would like about 100 people who love Joe Biden to inform me what I am missing.
Biden wrote, in attempting to bring my anti-busing legislation to a vote.
It feels like the economy has tanked since he became president. It feels like he hates black people.
So I learned about roaches. I learned about kids jumping on my lap.
I would love for 100 people, if you're black, that's even better. And tell me why, right? Convince me to vote for Joe Biden. Okay, peace family. I'm back. My name is Christina Victoria, and today I wanted to talk to you guys about Joe Biden. Now, I have really been trying to toe the line on this one, okay? And I'm gonna be as honest as I possibly can be, okay? Y'all know, if you've been following my channel, I've been a Democrat for a long time, okay? Long time. And have worked on campaigns, have been a part of the party formally, right? You know, all that stuff. And, you know, I really, and I'm just gonna say it, because y'all are like, just say it, Christina, just say it, right? You know, I really don't like Joe Biden. You know, there's a lot of reasons for that. Let me add this, okay? You know, I have taken a lot of effort to make this channel respectful of everyone. And we're talking about some very difficult topics here. I thought about maybe I should shy away from talking about hard politics because it's so controversial, but this is what I'm interested in talking about right now, and so that's what I'm going to talk about. That said, I know that on a lot of channels, you all are used to speaking disrespectfully to others, calling people names, things like that. That is not cool here. We don't do that here. I will never call anyone outside of their name, and I wish that you would not do that. Any comments that have like profanity, F this person, they're an idiot, they're a blah blah blah, are screened out. Every once in a while, I will look at the screened out comments to see if there's anything that was just mistakenly screened out, and if it's nice, then I will add it. You don't have to agree with me, and I'm not asking you all to agree with me, but you do have to be respectful of me, and you do have to be respectful of everyone else. So any comment where y'all are calling people names, you're stupid, you're this, no, we are adults, not children. This channel is for adults, not children. And if you can't have a respectful conversation about issues, then this is not the channel for you. This channel is really about asking questions, free thought, and open conversation, and opening it up to both sides to discuss issues that I think are traditionally either here or here, and I don't subscribe to either side. I'm an independent-minded person, and I welcome those people who feel that way. So I just want to say that because I want the conversation to remain respectful. I want the conversation to remain uplifted. I feel that we've lost a lot of decorum in our country, which is why I speak the way that I do about these things. And I would ask that you all would try to elevate the conversation with me. As always, wishing you abundant life, love, joy, peace, and prosperity. But not only to you, to your loved ones, to your communities, and even to your enemies. And I mean that. And with that, let's get into the video. Really, and I'm just gonna say it because y'all are like, just say it, Christina, just say it, right? You know, I really don't like Joe Biden. That's all I have to say about it. I really do not. And you know, there's a lot of reasons for that. The quickest way I can say it is that I feel that he's a racist. Now I know that a lot of people think Trump is a racist too. Fine, they're both racist. We can say they're both racist then, fine. You know, I feel like people want to say either Biden is racist or Trump is racist. Okay, maybe they're both, I don't know, right? All I know, I'm talking about Joe Biden today. All I know is 94 crime bill.
Which is now the Biden-Hatch bill, was the Biden bill. A guy named Biden wrote that bill, and he wrote that bill by going down and sitting down with the President of the United States of America, not with his Attorney General, not with anyone else, with Bill Clinton.
All I know is he's talking about, you know, the jungle. He doesn't want his kids to be associated with black kids. All I know is he's trying to prevent black kids from being bused to white schools.
On June 30th, 1977, Biden wrote, "Dear Mr. Chairman, I want you to know that I very much appreciate your help during this week's committee meeting in attempting to bring my anti-busing legislation to a vote." Then in 1978, Biden again asked Eastland to put his anti-busing bill before the full Senate, writing, "Your participation in floor debate would be welcomed."
You know, and so it feels, and I've seen a bunch of clips. I might add in a couple of clips in here because I don't know if it's just me. Am I the only one that has seen this? Have you all seen these clips as well, where he's throwing out the N-word, feels real comfortable with that?
The allegation that important legislators in defeating the Nunes plan in the basement said, quote, "We already have a nigger mayor and we don't need any more nigger big shots."
You know, and saying weird things, talking about, I don't know if you saw this one where he's talking about cockroaches. Did you see this one where he has brought all these black children to stand around him, and he's talking about being at a pool at some point, and he had the kids, he said they were playing with his leg hair, which is kind of weird to me. But then he said, well, that was the first time that I learned about cockroaches.
And the kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down so it was straight, and then watch the hair come back up again. They'd look at it. So I learned about roaches. I learned about kids jumping on my lap. And I've loved kids jumping on my lap.
And I'm sitting here like, what does he mean by that, right? So I was like, maybe I missed something. Maybe I missed something from what he was saying, right? So I go back to the beginning to see what the context was. No, that was the context. He was referring to the black children as cockroaches. And so, you know, why do I not like Joe Biden? It's because I think he's a longtime racist, and that he truly has not had the best interests of black people at heart, to the degree that he, you know, when people talk about, you know, all these black men are put in jail, well, I mean, the person who wrote the bill for that to happen was Joe Biden. And so, you know, if you've been watching my videos, y'all have seen that I have been towing the line, because it's like, I've been a Democrat for a long time. I've been hesitant to really say this because it's like, the second you say anything about Joe Biden, then everyone labels you as a Republican. And I'm like, I don't want y'all to label me as a Republican because I've been a Democrat forever. Like, I don't understand why it's like, if you know, it's if you don't go along with what the Democratic Party establishment is saying, then you must be a shill for Trump, you know? And it's like, no, I have a mind of my own, right? I'm looking at this guy. He looks like he's falling apart. He looks like he can barely speak. He literally looks like he's on some type of medication that's keeping him up, like uppers, right? And, you know, they're having reports of him pooping his pants and things like this, farting and stuff on camera.
And cut critical healthcare programs, or stop work on roads and bridges. So what does the human...
Like, he's not really in control of himself. Clearly, the Obamas and the Clintons have already said that they're on the phone with the White House every day. So, I mean, you know, these are people that I voted for. So, I mean, I hear, you know, some Democrats are like, well, I mean, that's not that bad, right? We like them. But I mean, like, they're not president right now. Like, the person who's supposed to be president is Joe Biden. And he doesn't seem like he's up for the job right now. And he seems to me to be a longtime racist. Again, saying that he is a racist doesn't mean that Trump is not a racist. I don't know. You know, I'm just saying we're talking about Biden here. And so I posted again. I've been trying to toe the line and not outright say it, but I'm really wanting to know here. Okay, who out here loves Joe Biden? Like, if you genuinely, and I'm not playing and I'm not being funny, right? Hand up. I'm not being funny at all. If you really like Joe Biden, write in the comments why. Like, I need to know, inform me. Like, maybe I'm tripping. Like, maybe I'm seriously missing something. And if I am, honestly, I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not going to argue with you in the comments. Y'all look at my comments. I'll be arguing with y'all in the comments. If you want to say something, say it. I would love to know from somebody, I want 100 people, because I got about 100 on my last video. I would like about 100 people who love Joe Biden to inform me what I am missing, that he seems like a terrible president. It feels like the economy has tanked. since he became president. It feels like he hates black people and is just, you know, doing this performative thing. I don't understand truly why Obama would even select him if he knew all of these things about him, which is even confusing for me. You know, I truly don't get it. So, and I'm not being funny. Like, I would love for 100 people, if you're black, that's even better, because again, I love all y'all, but I would love to hear from the black community. Like, is there anyone out there that loves him? And I ask this because on my last video, right, I just did my last video on Morehouse and how there's a lot of backlash from the young Morehouse men and from some of the alums about Biden being invited to speak there. A lot of them do not want this, right? For a variety of reasons. And you can go look at that video if you want to get more information on that. But this is really about the comments, because, you know, I live for the comments. I love the comments because that really, I think, provides context for, you know, what's going on, right? The real pulse of the people. So I was like, maybe it's just the people that I've attracted are also feeling the same way about Joe Biden. But I mean, the comments, I'm just reading the comments on my own video, and it's like, I mean, the comments with the top likes. Okay, so I'm just reading the ones with the top likes. Let me actually go on. I was on my private side, right? The YouTube studio side. But let's go to the real page. Okay, top, and you can look at it just like I can. Okay, top comments: African American men, money, support, and vote Trump 2024. 24 likes. President Trump is definitely the best person for the job. 3 brown thumbs up. 8 likes. I'm a black man from Compton, California, and I'm voting for President Trump 2024. 28 likes. We got response, much respect. You know, I'm looking at the next comment. I'm just reading the top comments. I'm just going to add this in here so you can see for yourself what I'm looking at and seeing. Okay. Next person: simply apologize to Mr. Biden and invite Dr. Ben Carson or other successful leaders of our country. Should not be a distinction by skin color. We are all human and American. Let's love each other and strive to get along. 21 likes on that one. Trump 2024, and that's a slap in the face to those black students after all Biden has said about black people. 14 likes. We have given too much to Ukraine. Again. 18 likes. I'm a black woman, and if Biden was speaking, I wouldn't go to my own graduation. Good for the black men for standing up for their beliefs. Don't go. 8 likes. What about Dr. Ben Carson? Second comment for Ben Carson. Oh, that's right. He's a conservative Republican. Gosh darn it. 10 likes. And this is my mother. Thank you, Miss Mills. I think the president should gracefully bow out for the sake of honoring the sacredness of this commencement. 13 likes. Now, again, you can look at the comments just as I can. Trump 2024, 20 likes. No, do not have Biden speak at graduation or present him with any honorary degree. 9 likes. Good job, guys. FJB, 6 likes. As an alum, I'm disappointed that MHC is hosting JB. It's clear this is a political move and he needs to support. Great work. 9 likes. I mean, and I'm seeing a bunch of Trump 2024. I see someone saying that they wish Thomas Sowell would speak at Morehouse College, whom I like to listen to as well. I might add some of content from him if you guys are interested in hearing about that. But I mean, and then this person says, please, Miss Mills, don't be afraid to just say it. And that is where I feel right now is I think it's time to just say it. It appears that a lot of us don't like Joe Biden. And again, if you like Joe Biden, I'm not being funny. I wish that you would comment. I love Joe Biden. I think he's the best president we've ever had. And tell me why, right? Convince me to vote for Joe Biden. Convince me. I want 100 people to get in my comments and be like, Christina, you're tripping. Don't you remember that Joe Biden, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da? And write that and let me know and let all of us know who are tripping, right? Let me know, Christina, you're tripping. You need to get on the Democratic Party line. Don't you know that they've done all of these things for us? You just must not remember that this and this and this and this. And please list those things that I've forgotten in my comments because I want to know. Because I'm genuinely being as genuine as I possibly can. Did not vote for president in the last election. Because I'm sitting here like, definitely not voting for him. definitely not voting for him. That's how I felt, right? And 4 years later, I'm not willing to do that again, right? I feel bad that I did not vote in the last election because I used to be a super voter. Like in the Democratic Party, I'm sure somebody can go and look up NGP and see my voting history and see that I used to vote in every single municipal, every single runoff, every single everything. I used to be that person, and I remember the moment when I stopped doing that because I was like, you know what? I don't like the way this is going. And for someone who's a super voter, I used to be the president of the Young Dems. I used to be a post seat holder in the Fulton County Party. You know, I used to be all up in there. And for someone like me to be so discouraged that I'm like, you know what, forget it. I'm not even going to vote for anybody. It's sad, right? It's sad because I think the perception we have of people who don't vote are just apathetic and people who just aren't knowledgeable. Like I'm very knowledgeable. I've been paying attention for years and an activist for a number of years, you know, and it really got to the point where I was like, I don't know that I believe in these things anymore. I don't know if I believe in this person that you guys have put up for me to vote for, you know? And so I was like, let me just sit this one out. I just started to sit it out, right? And this year, the reason why I've kind of come with this YouTube channel is because I'm not willing to do that again, right? I am going to give my vote to somebody, and I'm using this as a public way of expressing myself because I know that I have enough private conversations with people that a lot of people feel the same way. Also feel like we're not being heard, you know, also feel like we're being, you know, pushed to make decisions, like pushed to vote for Joe Biden. And, you know, the media, you know, MSNBC and all of them want to try to convince us, oh, but you like him, right? You should like him. Don't you remember? You know, but it's like, I can see with my own eyes. I can hear with my own ears, right? I can witness these things for myself. And what I'm witnessing is not the same as what I'm being told through the media. And I think what's happening is enough of us are like, you know, when I was a little kid, you could pull on my nose. I remember this. You could pull on my nose, right? And be like, I got your nose. And when I was a little kid, I would believe you. I would believe you. And I would be like, oh my God, why'd you take my nose? Give it back. Give it back, right? Give it back. But now I'm an adult. And you do that. And I'm like, you look crazy as hell. And what's happening is, I think, for whatever reason, it's like a lot of the news media keeps trying to pull our nose. Like, look, I got your nose. I got your nose. And it's like, no, you don't, though. Like, that was cute a long time ago, but now you look real weird. And, you know, I think a lot of us are feeling that our perception of the world is very different than what we're being told through the media.
America is a nation that can be defined in a single word. I was going to put him.
What it is exactly that, like, you see that somehow isn't, you know, coming across to the rest of the American people?
Look, I think the fact that when he meets with his team, when he meets with staff, he is, as I said, incredibly engaged. As I said, very sharp, and ask us back and forth.
And it's making us not trust a lot of the media, and it's making us really not trust a lot of these politicians.
76% of voters say they have real concerns about President Biden's ability to serve a second term. Do you think it's responsible for Democrats to put him at the top of the ticket given those concerns?
Responsible. I revere his record.
Which is now the Biden-Hatch bill, was the Biden bill.
In attempting to bring my anti-busing legislation to a vote.
So the opportunity to express that for 4 more years, what a gift it is for the American people.
Because Joe Biden especially, he comes across as a tremendous liar, right? That, like, I don't know if you all remember, I've been doing a lot of research, to be honest, because I really want to, you know I'm just one vote, but I do have a voice. And, you know, I've really been researching. You know, you all know that Joe Biden ran for president a long time ago. The reason he had to bow out because he was caught lying.
He exaggerated his academic record in law school.
Went back to law school and in fact ended up in the top half of my class.
And then there were moments like this, repeated later during the campaign.
When I marched in the civil rights movement, I marched with tens of thousands of others to change attitudes.
But he never actually marched in the civil rights movement at all. Ultimately, it was accusations of plagiarism in his speeches.
I did not know that was a Robert Kennedy quote. My mistake.
That forced him to drop out of the race.
I made some mistakes.
About, you know, his record in law school, talking about I'm the top of my class, all these things. And it's like, he's like literally a known liar for like his whole life. And so again, a lot of you all are so partisan and stuck in this like D versus R thing. You can be a Democrat and not like Joe Biden, right? You don't, just because you don't like Joe Biden doesn't make you automatically a Republican. And I know some of you are going to hear this and be like, oh, well, you're just a shill for Trump. You're just a secret Republican. And it's like, no, y'all, like, I'm a lifelong Democrat who doesn't like Joe Biden, who doesn't like a lot of the things that the Democratic Party is doing right now, including the border. I really don't understand or like that, right? So it's like, there's a lot of things that if I just blindly give my vote to the Democratic Party and continue to do that without saying anything, things are going to keep going the way they are. And I'm not with that. It's like, when you identify as one party or the other, it doesn't matter which one. I hear both of y'all do this. Both the Democrats and the Republicans do this. You will fix your mouth to say things that I know you don't believe in because you are trying to conform to the party line. And I see this on both sides, right? I know when I came out with my video the other day about USC and the campus protest, and I'm like, hey, I'm all for a good protest, right? Because a lot of y'all thought I was a conservative Republican because I don't like Joe Biden, right? No, I am an independent. I'm allowed to have beliefs that are liberal and conservative at the same time. And most of you all, if you are honest with yourselves, if you hadn't been prompted by MSNBC or by Fox News to have a certain set of beliefs, your beliefs, most of you, I know for a fact, are a little bit over here and a little bit over here. It's a very rare person whose organic beliefs are 100% D or 100% R. For example, as a Christian and someone who believes in life, right? I accept that guns exist, right? I accept that, that the Second Amendment says that people should have the right to have guns. I don't like guns. When I was 4 years old, my brother was shot, and killed. And, he was a Marine. He was in Desert Storm, came home from infantry, came home and was shot in the United States of America. Random gang shooting. He wasn't in a gang. The other person was in a gang, right? Was shot, his car was shot up. I remember being 4 years old. And I don't think they thought I would remember this, but I do. Seeing the Jeep that he was in with bullet holes all on the side and on the back of the car. Now, for someone like me, I don't like guns. I accept that they exist. I accept that some people feel the need to keep them. I don't like them. I also don't like the death penalty. I also don't like abortion, right? So I mean, what does that make me? What does that make me? Am I 100% Republican? Definitely not. Am I 100% Democrat? Definitely not, right? And I think all of us have certain things that they believe in that, are somewhere in the middle, right? Like even when they talk about abortion, if I, were pressed to vote on that issue, I would vote for it to be legal. Why? Because a safety issue, because, just because I don't want to do something doesn't mean that you can't do it. And, I think a lot of times, we get confused. It's like, how can you be against something, but then vote for it to be legal, right? And there's a lot of things that like that, where it's like, I might think it's wrong to do, but I still think that you should have the right to do what you feel is right for you to do. And, when we've seen people have not have access to abortion, really crazy things happen, right? So it's not worth it to me. If someone's going to do that, they will find a way to do that. And literally we've seen, at least from my understanding, the rate of abortions has gone up over the past year, even though there are fewer places to get it done. How is that happening? Because people will just travel. They will do what they need to do, right? Whether it's driving to a different state or whether it's asking their friend to use a coat hanger to help them. Like, it's not worth it. And so it's like, I'm really sick of this partisan thing. I really am. I'm sick of it. I'm tired of it. And it's like, I see so many of you. I can see the deadness in the eyes when y'all say certain things, because it's like, well, I mean, I'm a Democrat, so I just have to say that I agree with this, even though I know you don't, right? Same thing with some of the Republicans. It's like, I watch some of you guys, and it's like with Gaza, like, are you guys genuinely okay with the 34,000 people who've been killed in Gaza? Are y'all really okay with it? Like, I've always supported Israel. Again, as a Christian, I get the support for Israel. But like, at what point can we say I'm not anti-Semitic? I will never be anti-Semitic. I love the Jews. I love my faith as a Christian. I love the Bible. I love the Hebrew scriptures. I know Hebrew, right? I can actually read Hebrew. So I mean, like, I'm not anti-Semitic, but I mean, God, like, at what point are we going to tell them they have to stop? Never? So the Republicans are just going to forever just say, we'll just kill as many people as you need to. We're just going to give you infinite money. And I mean, the Democrats are obviously going along with that too. But I'm really like, I feel like most of us, if we're honest about it, our thinking is not D or R. It's not blue or red. Our thinking is just our thinking, right? And we've been so convinced by the traditional news media that either you believe all of these things or you believe all of these things. And many of us contort our minds and our mouths to try to fall into one of those categories that aren't even, that to me don't even make a lot of sense to try to form into. And even when you look at the voting right now, it's like, they do the polling and they do these fake polls. I mean, they're fake, right? That will say, are you going to vote for Trump or Biden? No. Trump and Biden aren't the only two people on the ballot. We have a few independent candidates on the ballot right now. And so we're looking at all of these fake polls that are pretending like the only two people who are in the race are Trump and Biden, when right now it appears that Kennedy is trending at about 16%. And so it's like so all these polls only have two people are pretty much fake. They're irrelevant because there's at least one third party candidate who's going to get a lot of y'all's votes, and that's Kennedy. There are a couple others who are very, very slim, but Kennedy really might mix this up. And I get why a lot of people are not putting those polls out, because if you want Biden to win, you definitely wouldn't even talk about Kennedy, right? Because Kennedy is a Democrat, at least has been a Democrat for his whole life, along with his family, and is just running independent because he couldn't run on the Democratic ticket, right? And then if you're Trump, I mean, I just feel like Kennedy's irrelevant because Trump is leading regardless of whether it's just the 2-party poll or the 3-party poll. And so I really honestly want your feedback on this. If you are a Biden supporter, and I'm really trying to get a sense of how many people are genuinely trying to vote for him and how many people are genuinely, like, not just hard D. I'm not talking about I'm voting for the Democratic Party. I mean, how many people genuinely want Joe Biden to be president? I want to know. And I want this to be like, I want to know. I don't want to hear anti-Trump. I want to hear pro-Biden, because all I hear with people with Biden is, well, he's not Trump. Well, Trump is a racist. Well, Trump is all these charges, right? Okay, heard, okay? Trump might be a racist. He says really mean things about just about everybody. So, I mean, fine. Trump might be a racist. But is Biden a racist? But is he doing a good job? Do you think that? I want to know. And if there's something I'm missing, let me know. How has Biden helped the Black community? How has he really uplifted the country? Let me know. I want to know. So you can't just say I'm voting for Biden because I don't like Trump. That's not a valid reason for me, right? Because if you don't like Trump, you can also vote for Kennedy. And so that's kind of where I'm coming from on this. So thank you all for watching. Thank you all for listening to my little rant about this. I love your comments. I look forward to reading those 100 people just praising Joe Biden. I want to hear it. I want to hear 100 people tell me I'm dead wrong, respectfully. Christina, you don't know about all of these things. Let me know. I don't know. And educate me. Educate all of us on how awesome the Democratic Party has been for Black people. Let me know. And as always, I will see you on the next one. And I love you guys. Peace.
Entertainment.